Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and let me talk about something that um happened yesterday on Twitter. And this is about Tim Sherdian talking about creating brand new comic book characters. Um and I guess I experienced this whole blockchain or whatever because I had made a comment on his post where Mark Wolfman was talking on his post, and I had said I agree with what you're saying, Mark Wolfman, and I said, and that's why your Titans run is well renowned and well remembered. Tim Sheridan liked the post. Come back later, I guess somebody had liked what I had said or whatever, and I'm trying to see it, but then I'm gone, and now I'm blocked. So I guess it's something part of like a blockchain because everybody's saying that they're blocked too by him. So to me, it just makes me seem like it just feels like you're Tim Sheridan. If you ever hear this or whatever, you're a whole ass pussy ass bitch. I have no respect for professionals blocking customers or people. You had an open invitation talking. Don't make a comment on something that you know is going to get you ratioed. You know what I'm saying? Like you said it. The only reason why people are commenting on it because you said the comment, and then you want to get mad that you're not getting the response that you thought you were going to get. Like when you have a professional like Mark Wolfman telling you like, "Hey, you need to understand how these characters work," and then you fundamentally talking about, "Well, yeah, I agree, Mark." Well, no, obviously you didn't because your comic book got canceled for a reason because he's over here talking about the character. So here's what he says. Here's what he says, and this is what have happened right here where we all talked about it. Comic fans don't add stuff to establish characters. Just create new characters. Creators create some new characters. Comic fans, I don't know them. I don't want them. It's trash. And he said, and then of course they started talking, and he started talking about it. He said the comic book fandom likes to complain, and then he starts doing all that, and not a real comic book fan, right? So we continue to talk or whatever. We can continue to talk. So he also continues where he says, since some of you are misreading this, this is about to be new characters. Let me clarify. It's not about evolving existing character. EA when especially when they come out of the closet. The point is that many fans who don't make him gay create new characters don't really want new characters. And it's kind of like, well, hey, maybe if you create good characters and stop focusing on them being LGBT or race swapping them, then maybe there would be. And then you can't expect new characters just to get on like that. You have to create characters that have a story, that has a reason in them be there. You're just creating characters just to be like, oh, because this character's LGBT and this, what I'm saying. So you know what I mean? And then of course somebody was like, I wish the creator would stick to established canon. Here's a canon reference point we use. No, not that canon. And it's just like that at arms, he's being misleading because it's not a reference that they use because they look at little sublime lines of where a character is talking and you see what you want to see. Just like it's the whole time where people try to find accuse Iceman of being LGBT, Alan Scott, Tim Drake, all of these characters, a lot of characters that have now come out the closet, y'all looked at moments where they had with the same sex person was like, you know what? There it is. Even when other writers that was reading it, even when fans said it wasn't there, y'all still say, shut up. We're wrong, right? And and of course, people continue to talk. I don't know if I have the little comment where I talked about it. Where Mark Wolfman, because Mark Wolfman did comment on it, and I really wish I can find the thing. And then he said, and then here's one person said, unless the new characters are well written, are interesting and captivating, such as all of Wildstorm, Ellis Authorities, Gotham Girl, Jack's Knight, Starman, the Black Hammer, all of those Mingos, and Hellboy, and all of those characters are really good, but Tim Sheridan not understanding because his book got canceled at 15. And you always know that old saying where you come into somebody else's toy box and you can play with the toys, but you don't break them. And if you do break them, you bring them back to what they were so somebody else can do it. Nobody wants to keep the character's legacy or whatever. Nobody's not saying that you can't put changes into characters, but unnecessary changes, sexuality swaps, race swaps, gender swaps, or you having characters come out of nowhere, they're brand new, and all of a sudden they know better than the character that's been doing this stuff for a long time. It makes, excuse me, it makes absolutely no sense. But let's see. Why don't they just create their own characters? Create their own characters, not like that. And again, it goes back to the whole point where most of these characters are not captivating. See, I wonder if I wish I could find the Mark Wolfman one comment, because that's the one that really really got that one, because everybody's talking about it doesn't work. And let's see, this person said it feels like this happens too much. It might be a little arrogant on my part, but I don't trust fans to know what they want. I remember this passage from Alan Moore writing, in which he said that the writer does not give the readers what they want but what they need. And that's true to a certain extent, but most of the time in these comic books, in these books, they're not giving the fans mostly what they want. They're giving the fans mostly what they don't want. So let's say the 2 out of 10. I mean, not 2 out of 10, but let's say 50-50. They're giving us 25% of what we want, and the rest is, oh, fuck off with all that other stuff. You know what I mean? And it's not fair. And honestly, people are saying like, hey, maybe it's because you're a bad writer. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, Meghan Markle, not Meghan Markle, but Megan Fitzpatrick, her Dark Crisis Young Justice, where she feels like she need to crap over Peter David's Young Justice and 90 depictions of the characters. That is so pretentious of her, because you're ignoring the lore and canon just to try to add your own mix to the characters, because you want to try to establish something. You're making both Cassie and Arrowhead look like bitches. You're making the boys look like little wusses, and then you're trying to make the Justice League seem like they're racist, homophobic. Like, Bart even said that nonsense where he was like, "We're in a world where everybody is racist and homophobe and all that nonsense." Are you kidding me? We're in the 90s. We're in the 90s. Like, stop. Please stop. And and then of course here's this person. People are perfectly receptive to new characters, but they have been done right. What that means exactly, I don't know, but I think the willingness to try only leads to stagnation and frustration. Um Me watching fall sideways fall into absurdity. And that's another thing too. The problem is with so there is a an agreement though, because when DC and Marvel do bring out new characters, they give up on them real quick because they want that instant gratification. Like the new Age of Heroes that DC did. Great characters, great characters. They were well done. The stories were pretty cool, and then DC gave up halfway through the runs, or even after issue number 2 of those comic books came out, because they weren't an instant hit. And it's just like, well, okay, but how do you get those characters to grow? You have to put them in book. You have to you can't give up on their stories, and then put them in books with other popular characters. Let them guest star in a lot of characters. So then when the time came, then you could have spent them off. But you have to try. You got to try with the characters, but they have to be interesting. A lot of the characters nowadays are literally knockoff versions of characters that we already have, and those characters already have legacy behind them as well. So why are you here? Why am I on the 5th Batman? I mean the 500th Batman, the 500th Spider-Man, the 500th Superman, the 500th Wonder Woman. We already have that. And the same thing with Green Lantern, Flash, all of that. Why do I need a version of those characters? I don't need that. But when you give me characters like Sideways, Damage, um, the Terrifics, you know, what's her name, Silencer. When you give me more stuff like that, I can work with stuff like that, or classic other characters, you know. And nobody's not saying that you can't try, because in Teen Titans, Mark Wolfman introduced other characters, Raven, Starfire, Cyborg. Those characters were introduced in the Teen Titans run. You know what I mean? Classic characters now, because the original Teen Titans was Donna Troy, not Donna Troy, Robin, Dick Grayson, Aqualad, Speedy, and Kid Flash, Wally West. Five of those five characters. It was three, then four, then five. But you know what I mean. Those characters, and then they came back, and then they added more characters into it. And then they added Beast Boy from Doom Patrol, you know. And then we got Jericho after that. Then we got Terra. We got Red Star, you know. And then not to mention, after Graduation Day, then they brought in a new version of Teen Titans where we got the characters from Young Justice in with the old cast, and that worked as well too. You see how that transition of power worked, and then even then, when some of the characters were leaving, we got Kid Devil, we had got Miss Martian, we had got Bombshell, we got Aqua Girl, we had got Static in there, we got Blue Beetle, you know, Kid Eternity. We even had Captain Marvel Jr. in there. Kyle Rayner was on. You know, you get what I'm saying. Stuff like that. We were brought in with new characters, and when it didn't work, it didn't work. You know, because there was like one run in the '90s, I believe, Extreme Titans or something like that. They put them in there, and it was just, oh god, those characters are just terrible. They were just terrible. That's why it just didn't work. But back in the day, you can take risks like that, and that's what you have to do. You have to take risks if you're going to bring in new characters into the Titans, into the world of DC and Marvel. You got to understand the lore and history, and understand that you can't just go and change everything about characters and then expect them to just like it. Most of these new characters are overlooked because they're not done well. They really aren't. They come out of nowhere. They're better than everyone else, and it just doesn't help anyone. You know, I do love new characters, but if you're not going to try with them, then why should I put any time and effort into, you know, supporting it? You know, and just because you made just and another thing with Tim Sheridan, just because you made characters doesn't necessarily mean that that's instant gratification. A lot of it's trash. You can get mad all you want to, but it's the truth. A lot of these characters that are now being made from DC and Marvel are literally self-insert characters that the writers put, you know, or they're taking classical characters that you know darn well ain't never been this or that, and you put them in there. I'm sorry, most of your readership, regardless of what y'all think, I have to keep stressing this out. Most of your comic book readers are white, straight, and male. You can hate it all the hell you damn want to, but that is your primary target audience. And on top of that, your another problem is that you guys forget most of your readers are straight and males. So guess what? They're not going to be acceptance of a whole bunch of LGBT characters coming out of nowhere, a whole team of it. No. And then my thing is, y'all won't even listen to people who are criticizing. I have stressed this out enough. I can name list of original LGBT, Latino, Black characters, Asian characters all the damn time that don't even get no time in the spotlight at all. And I'm talking about characters that have years on them, and y'all will ignore those characters just to bring in some brand new self-insert characters that are terrible, or take established characters and change them to accommodate to what you want. And 9 times out of 10, it is really to change their sexuality, their gender, or their race. Don't know. And then you're not even focused on comic superhero stuff. That's that makes it even worse. Like this, like this right here, this Hank right here said the problem is that creators want to create self-insert garbage that no one cares about unless they wear another character's like skin suit. We have seen it pretty much in every franchise. If those same ideas had a new rapper, no one cares. Make good content. That's really it. That's really it. God, I wish I could find the Bart Wolfman one, because that's the one thing. And then and let's see. Here's another person. Maybe if the new characters weren't dollar store ripoff or tokenized sloppy seconds of established characters, fans will be more receptive. That's true. And then it says the characters can't be just coast off of being original. They also have to be good and interesting. Again, that's another thing. A lot of these characters are not good and interesting. And then even then, when they are good and interesting, DC and Marvel don't promote them. I mean, what is Marvel? What is DC now promoting mostly? Batman. So any new character that comes out of DC that probably could be good and potentially be amazing, they don't put any time and effort and money behind it. It's the same thing with the new Age of Heroes. Everybody talk about how amazing it was, but because the sales were low, they canceled them. Well, of course, because they're brand new characters, you still have to let your readers get used to them. You can't just expect them to just be amazing all of a sudden. And that's another problem. Y'all expect it to be a hit day one. And that's not how that works. You have to let comic book fans get back to it. It's the same thing with like how DC Rebirth, it got people back to DC, but it was a slow build. And then they were like, oh, the sales not fast enough. Well, of course it's not going to be, because people were turned off from the new 52. You can't crap over your audience and then you do something that they want and then expect it to hurry up and get instant gratification. That's not how that works. And then even then, like this person said, new characters can be trash. Yeah, that's true, because the new Warriors, new characters, Safe Space, Snowflake, Internet Gas Boy, Fat chick right here, and B negative. Like what the hell? And they look like clowns. They don't even look like superheroes. They don't even look like superheroes. And then here's another one. Indies and mangas don't have this problem. Maybe you are just bad at making characters interesting. That is definitely true. And then another thing with Goat said, cool then. Just use the old ones that have worked for decades and don't change things. No one asks to change things. You know? And then the implication is create new good characters. Just because you created new characters which generate trash, see Kibble Smith, New Warriors, doesn't mean that people must purchase the comic books. You know. Let's see what else is thinking. I want to try to find a Mark Wolfman post, because that one was really cool and stuff like that. I firmly believe the correct thing to do is create new characters. But if this the best you can manage in the way of new characters, yeah, I don't think you're ever gonna have any hope of making anything worthwhile, even if you got the fuck around with established characters. See, that's what I'm saying. Recently I had this argument with a bunch of neckbeards, so it was frustrating. Oh wait, hold on. Never mind. That person talks stupid. And then this person says, sounds like a personal problem. I think that you are no longer make comics for everyone. You make comics for people with leftist ideologue. Let's take our mask off. Tell the truth. We are not your public. That's why manga keeps sweeping comics, because there is content for everyone. You're right, because they do. They always tell us, well, if you don't like it, don't read it, don't buy it, don't support it. Okay, great. We didn't like it, we didn't read it, we didn't support it. But then you go on a binger and complain about, I can't believe people aren't buying my comic book or whatever, stuff like that. And it's just so hard creating new characters. Well, you're not creating anything that people want. You're creating for a small minute of your audience. Like a lot of these creators nowadays are literally creating for minority readers, and I'm a minority, but still, you're not creating a book that's targeted for everyone. You're making a book that's focusing on either a character's race, their gender, or their sexuality. So, what makes you think that if majority of your readership is straight and male, that they want to read a whole entire book full of lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transsexuals, black, Asian characters that look unappealing, look terrible, think they know better than the other characters, and then they try to crap on the original characters that people love, or take well-established characters and then say, you know what, this character is now all of a sudden LGBT. Isn't that great? No, it's not. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And see, look, Michael even had something too. Jeff Johns brought back the entire Justice Society from death, introduced a new crop of characters like Amazing Man 3, Jakeem Thunder, Stargirl, Judo Master, Sonya, Cyclone. Nobody called it trash, all while respecting the history. Good new characters are always welcome. He's right. JSA came back with Jeff Johns, and Jeff Johns added a lot of new characters into the JSA run, and those characters are now classic characters, except for now the Rock done screwed up a few of them by race swapping them, but that's neither here nor there. But that's still a good point. Tim had an opportunity to maybe add in brand new characters of the Teen Titans that could have actually been great. Not every character was going to hit, but you could have easily made a generational team with the Teen Titans book and actually had them do something amazing, but you didn't. Marvel makes established characters queer. Fans don't change established characters, just make new one. Creates a new queer what the fuck woke shit no one will care about. And Marvel, I don't know. This isn't true. People will be interested in new characters, but they have to actually be interested. They also have to include good writing as well. And then this person said it couldn't be possibly your writing, right? It's got to be the fans. Never forget when they call the creators woke for creating LGBT characters and say that there has to be a political agenda. Well, when you make a big deal about changing an established character sexuality and do everything you can to put down anyone who dislikes it, such a move. Well, what are people meant to say? You clearly don't have an agenda. Exactly. Exactly. The finest damn straw argument side of Mississippi. Maybe if the characters weren't vapid, politically motivated ideologue mouthpiece, we'll like them more. That's true. That's true. Make more DC films without Batman. Makes DC film without Batman. Who are these non-Batman characters? I would gladly pay money to watch a film with Batman, but now I'm going to pirate and spoil the whole movie on social media. I know you said this as a joke, but I've actually seen people say a version of this exactly and then turn around and wonder why there's tons of Batman movies all without a hint of irony. Oh my god, where is the Mark Wolfman post at? No, I hope Mark Wolfman didn't delete it. Well, I don't know. He might have deleted it. The problem I think the problem is using an established character is one you want the popularity that comes with the years it took to establish them, but without taking the years to establish them. Two, you want to change everything about the character except for what people recognize visually. That is definitely true. That is definitely true, you know. Reading comments like this, I can understand why manga is eating comic book market in the United States. Apparently, you're struggling with interneting. For all those people complaining about changing the characters, I never heard them talk about anytime Marvel and DC got it right introducing a new character. I'm just gonna believe that that's all racist sexism. No, because they're talked about for being good characters. You moron. See, Aaron talking stupid because when a new character come out and it's good. And then what happens in arguments, you know? People bring up all of those good classic characters. So I don't know what you're talking about. I guess this should have been applied, but they meant to make good new characters. Comic book fans don't change them from adaptation. These characters are like that already. Producers adapt new character. Comic book fan, mid character, nobody cares. Why bother adapting them? That's true. I mean, because okay, try again. Make better original characters. The fact that no one likes your new character is your failure, not the comic book fans. You're selling the product. If no one wants it, improve the product. Thank you. That is what Japan does. When you make a manga, and if a character is not well liked, well received, or whatever, you don't double down on it. You listen to the criticism that was given by the editors and by the fans. And if it's not improved by a certain time, you're off the book or the character has to get killed or whatever. But y'all, that's the thing about America. They don't want to give them any kind of ultimatum. They want to baby them. They want to sugarcoat everything for them. Tim Sherdian has been sugarcoated. Because a real editor would have told Tim, no, no, too much of these characters. They're not going to work. You need to start slowly introducing them and give them a good reason. You know, it's because the typical new characters are trash. We get shit like Riri Williams or like I call retarded Williams. Perhaps you should try creating good characters instead of complaining that fans don't read them. You have to make new characters good. I know it may be impossible in this day and age, though. Yeah, do we really have to be that pedantic? Make good original characters that aren't so alien and unlikable that only weirdo leftists can relate to or like them. That should go without saying, but shock and awe, weirdos can't think like normal people. I do like Sideways. Sideways was a good character. And then that's another thing too, is when we do like new characters like Sideways and the the new age of heroes, y'all won't bring them out because y'all don't want to pay the person who created the characters. That's another thing too. Y'all don't want to pay the people when there is a character that's very popular too. So again, that's why a lot of these new characters are terrible as well. Um, Honestly, if readers don't like the new characters for actually valid reason, then it's better that you've forgotten them and then have the classics be changed and have here God knows how many decades of screaming about it. Spider-Man was one of the thousands back then. Yeah, that's true. Just because we rather have you make new characters and then ruin the new characters. I enjoy by changing skin color doesn't mean I'm going to instantly be interested in and love that character. That's true. You new characters can still be bad. Yeah, that's definitely true. God, I can't find the Mark Wolfman one. I want to find the Mark one though, because that's the one I want. Um, And then Raging Golden Eagle said, why does manga have no problem both carrying on decades of old franchises success and creating new diverse one? Oh, right. Manga is editorial. Only the best rises to the top. American comics are all about checking boxes and it shows. Also, corporate ripoff of creators. And I don't blame American comic book industry pros for thinking this, to be honest. I wouldn't give them my best creative work to a soulless corporation either. But alternative and creative fields, you are often only as good as your last work. So it's a dangerous game. That's true. And then they show the new characters: Screen Time, Snowflake and Safe Space, Be Negative, and Trailblazer. Here it is. Here it is. When I did the Titans, my view was for every old DC characters I used, I tried to create someone new. If you're using someone else's idea, you should pay it forward. And that was the philosophy on Teen Titans Academy, Mark. No, it wasn't, because it didn't work. Wise policy. And then Ah, but a lot of them were rather mere. Like, fine, you put your money in where your mouth was and created new characters, fine. But most of them weren't interesting. And cringeworthy remarks about Harry Potter and its J.K. That's problematic. Nobody. Wait, that is problematic. Not the bloody Harry Potter book franchise. Yeah, he did. He did talk about the Harry Potter franchise too in the book. Like, who the fuck cares? Mark, my goat. I hope you could write a good Nightwing story again. I think the Titans are weird in that you see a lot of the new characters who get a good reception, but little gets done. Um, I remember back in the day, Bunker was really popular with a lot of fans, but that didn't last too long. Yeah, that's true. Bunker was a original LGBT character, and then he was in that terrible Titans book. But he shows up from time to time. He's People like the character. It's just that he was in a terrible book. He was in a terrible version of the Teen Titans. It is what it is. And again, DC decided not to do anything with him. They bring him out every once in a while. Instead of having him appear in other stories or other teams, they say, you know, and then it says props for making new characters, but how about actually making good ones? Then and it says I don't believe anyone who thinks like this is being honest or fair. Is there a character praising worthy just because they are new? If someone is asking you to create new character, that doesn't mean terrible ones is fine and they are to blame. No, write better. That's true. And everybody's talking about the ESOM. So don't create shitty characters. Maybe you should get good. I think comic buyers love first appearance. Creators create new character. This doesn't mean that the character is supposed to instantly be loved or adored. In this tweet, we have to interject things in existing characters or sublime established lore or traits because otherwise my ideas won't get through. That is definitely true. That is definitely true. Let's see, comic book fans just create new characters, creates woke garbage with bad writing and full of brim with agendas. We meant good new characters. You phobe, ist, and etc. You dislike my work because you're insert all insults here, and that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. And he didn't like it, so he blocked a whole bunch of people. He didn't he blocked a whole bunch of people. So again, that's on him. And again, you block people, and then you wonder why people aren't buying your stuff. I don't understand why these pros think that you can talk to fans any kind of way, block them, and then expect them to buy your work too. So, Tim, if you did ever get another shot at DC and making new characters, and then because of your attitude, because the way that you blocked everybody, you can't get mad that people aren't buying your books. You caused this. This is on you. Grow the hell up, learn how to write better, and create good characters that people want to read, and stop focusing on the character's sexuality. How about that? How about that? Do that for me, and then maybe you can get some good characters. Maybe your run will be remembered like the legendary Mark Wolfman and George Perez run. Oh wait, I forgot. It won't be. It won't be. It'll be in the trash next to your career. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not going to be remembered for good things. You know, that's the problem. I'm sorry to say this. I don't mean want to sound like a jerk, but I didn't even say anything negative on your post, and then you blocked me. You know, all I did was talk about the Mark Wolfman thing. You liked it, he liked it, and then you blocked me. I guess because of some stupid blockchain. So I just don't. Ugh, and then of course you expect us to support your stuff. That doesn't make any sense. I don't understand any kind of person, any kind of professional person or person that has a product that talks a big game, but then complains about me not buying your stuff. But then you block people who don't agree with you. You can't expect nothing different. What is it again, boys and girls? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over again, expecting different results. You're not going to get different results, Tim Sheridan. But best of luck to you. Best of luck to you. That's all I got to say at the end of the day. But those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.